Why write a history of these women? Why should one bother to write the history of a woman such as Jacquetta, Duchess of Bedford, or of Elizabeth Woodville, or of Margaret Beaufort? Does Jacquetta's absence from the records of her own time indicate that she's no great loss to the history books of today? Of course not. Jacquetta is absent from the records of her time because the letters, chronicles, and journals written then mostly told of public events, and as a woman, excluded from formal political power and military service, Jacquetta was not a primary actor. Occasionally she was at the forefront, and then we find her recorded, for instance, accused of witchcraft or kidnapped to Calais. Sometimes she was an actor representing the Queen or King. Sometimes she was in a conspiracy, and her work is still secret. So she does have a presence in the historical records, if they are carefully examined. But the interests of medieval chroniclers were not the same as ours. Historians today are interested in women, in the dispossessed, in the marginal, in the powerless. In particular, we are interested in women's history, women as a group, and individual women. Historians would now agree that an account of a society that doesn't look at the lives of half of the population is only half an account. Jacquetta's life as a prominent medieval woman can tell us much about the Queen's court, about elite life, about marriage, loyalty, social mobility, sex, childbirth, and survival. She's interesting as a representative of her time and class, as well as her gender. The medieval historians don't record such things. We have to look for them through the records, reading between the lines. The histories of the other two women of this book are little better known, but Elizabeth Woodville's life story has been told largely in terms of her second husband, Edward IV, and the tragedy of her son, Edward V. She's often slandered as a social climber, as an abuser of power, and as morally corrupt, on a biased reading of very little evidence. Margaret Beaufort, on the other hand, has been made into a stereotype of virtue. There's very little written about her, and even less that sounds realistic. We can read about her piety and self-sacrifice, almost nothing about her ambition, conspiracy, and passion. Much of the work she undertook for her son was done in secret. The collaborators sworn to silence, and any documents destroyed. It's almost impossible to reconstruct the history of her life's work. It was a secret she kept to the grave. And finally, to me, these women are interesting as individuals. They are my heroines. They are my foremothers. To paraphrase Ecclesiasticus chapter 44, verse 1, "Let us now praise famous women, and our mothers that begat us." If a woman is interested in her own struggle into identity and power, then she will be interested in other women. The lives of these and other women show me what a woman can do even without formal power, education, or rights, in a world dominated by men. They are inspirational examples of the strength of the female spirit.